I find it hard to believe. I thought I'd be dead by now. I mean, you know how that is. But here I am.
You know, I've been diving with some of these guys for more than 20 years, and I have nothing but respect for this team. We horse around a bit, we have a good time, but in the end, we take things very seriously. And if you're going to cave dive, you really want to be in the water with someone who's of a like mind. We're risk averse. We take care of each other. We dive well as a team. And I think that's been the secret to survival and enjoyment on these expeditions.
We get asked this all the time. Why on earth would you want to go cave diving? Most people think of caves and they think of a doorway filled with blackness. But for us, it's a portal to discovery, a place that allows us to swim inside the veins of Mother Earth. While we swim in these magnificent galleries, we're swimming through museums of natural history, through places that can teach us about Earth's past and Earth's future. It's a privilege to swim in these incredible environments and take in the majestic beauty that few people will ever have an opportunity to see.
October 29th, 2011. Garrett Jorgensen, James Tabinski, and Jim Cox braved the tight well casing and rappelled into Edgewood Caverns. Their quest to find the route through the underground maze and make the journey to Fossil Flats.
Okay, this is Edgewood Cave. We're just a little past the entrance drop. That's Garrett. He's kind of getting geared up. We're getting ready to go and do a little caving here.
Rafts form on the surface of pools filled with water saturated with calcium carbonate, dissolved by a weak acid called carbonic acid. As the water table slowly recedes and rafts form on its surface, a single water drip from the ceiling sinks rafts as they slowly float by. The delicate paper-thin rafts seem to represent the final stage of raft formation, covering up the earlier caramel-tinted carbonate flakes. But as spectacular as the sparkling wall of crystalline delights can be, they are eclipsed by the real star of the fossil flats, crinoid stems. These are the fossilized remains of a marine animal, also known as the sea lily.
Hi, I'm Bill Steele, and I'm co-leader of Proyecto Espeleológico Sistema Huautla, PESH, we call it for short, which is the ongoing exploration study of Sistema Huautla. Some people call it the greatest cave in the world, but it is the deepest cave in the Western Hemisphere. I guess over the last couple of years of PESH expeditions, I've seen it coming, and that's to address the spiritual aspect of the caves, because there's a firm belief by the Mazatec speakers, by those who haven't maybe gotten a high school education, or maybe have, and still have the same spiritual beliefs about the caves. There's strong spiritual beliefs among those people, and we of course completely respect those. With candles lit and incense burning and a lot of ceremony in Mazatec, and a live turkey that we'd bought in the market. And then we went to one of the entrances to Sistema Huautla, and we didn't know what was going to happen. We just knew that we were in for the ride, and we were going to do what we were asked to do. And turned out the turkey was sacrificed. By me, in fact, as the leader of the project. I was asked to go ahead and drop it in the pit, and I think I questioned that more than once. Really? Do you really mean that? And he did. He did really mean that. So down it went, and of course it died in the fall, as was reported later by people that saw its remains at the bottom.
And we're here today to interview Steve Silverberg, the owner of Lost World Caverns here in Lewisburg, West Virginia, about the first sighting of Bat Boy back in this cave in 1992.
What we call a wishing well. This is a pit that's about 30 feet deep, but this has been the most common location to have sightings of Bat Boy.
Back in 1964, when they put this concrete tunnel in, right? Well, they intersected a narrow passage that went down, but it really went down, and they found a lot of cave, and probably almost a depth of almost 3,000 feet. That's crazy, man.
I'm Chuck Frostic, and we're here in Lost World Caverns at the top of the Wishing Well to speak with Bob Kirk, the expedition leader for the Hunt for Bat Boy team. Now, we're here in the cave today because the expedition is going to take a trip down into the Wishing Well. And I understand Bill Balfour says that at the bottom of this pit that there is a crack, and he expects that if you all can get through there, you'll be able to get into the original cave that John Windell and his group were in back in 1964.
Well into the dark zone, we find a gecko clinging the ceiling. Somebody should study their feet to inspire the ultimate caving boot. Caves of the Ankarna provide habitat to all sorts of critters. It's mainly the presence of bats that makes such diversity possible. Bats leave the caves to feed on insects, but their droppings represent an energy source for microorganisms, beetles and roaches, a whole food chain of living things. Returning to the river Styx in a crisp morning light, our pirogues await us, already lashed together in a style catamaran, and being paddled around in the limestone-rich waters of the river Styx. The river Styx cave flows 5 miles underground. Not that we'll get to see much of it if I keep this up, blinding the oarsmen with my video light.